Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have returned after over a year to Jones Creek Ranch Park. This is part of my quest to play all the courses prior to Texas States that is coming up this later on this weekend, as this will come out on a Tuesday. That said, I've arrived in the middle of the day. It is now the windiest part of the day, so I'm going to try to play a little conservatively on this course. Also, since it's been so long, I'm not quite as familiar with disc selection and things like that, so it's going to be an interesting round. Let's see what a rec level disc golfer can do. And just so y'all know, this is the practice basket. After I do a little bit of practice putting, I'm going to head off to hole one. Okay, so that was pretty discouraging. While I was practice putting, the tripod blew over because of the wind, and I had to use the last lens wipe to clean the lens. So hope to God I don't get anything on the lens, or the camera doesn't blow over again. Basket is 320 plus feet that way. Gonna throw my Spinks that way. That'll work. Okay, we've arrived at our lie. I'm 110 feet from the basket per bush now. I have a tailwind, so I need to make sure this not very glidey putter has enough distance to get me close to the basket. I did a little bit of hyzer, but that's within about 15 feet. I think I'm okay. Okay, and hopefully my putting is a little more successful than it was at the practice basket. I almost had a yip. And just so you know, it went badly at the practice basket. Anything beyond 15 feet was rough. Okay, so just so you know, the edge of this tee pad to the edge of the water near the basket, you have to throw 200 feet to cross to the other side. If you're not sure about reaching 200 feet, what you want to do is throw more to the left. That's about 180. That's about 160 to cross. So that's what you want to do if you're not sure you can get to the other side. That said, I've got my Hawkeye. Just going to throw towards the basket. Pretty sure I can make it over. Just want to get over there. Okay, that'll work. Okay, I've made it to the other side, and you can see this absolutely lovely scenic view. And yeah, it's pretty impressive. I think I'm 15 feet out. Let's go. No, really, let's go. I'm scared of this hole. Okay, we've now arrived at hole 3. We got a bit of a tailwind. I've tried propping up the tripod well enough. All I'm going to do is throw my Hawkeye just straight ahead that way. I just want to get as far as I can. It's a long distance hole. I can't get close to the basket, so I got to play accordingly. Let's go see what we've got. Okay, I did really good with this Hawkeye. I've got 108 feet to the basket. What I'm going to try to do is take this overstable R-Pro Pig, throw it that way, and let it hyzer towards the basket. I went a little long, but I should be able to make that putt. Okay, we're putting 20 feet from the basket, but I am putting into the headwind, so I need to slow it down, just try to focus on getting it in the basket and not throw it too high, for fear that the wind might catch it and lift it up and carry it over. So I'd rather too short than too high. I had a yip. It's the first time I've had a yip in a while, and it sucks. Missed a 20-footer thanks to a yip. Okay, I'm trying to compartmentalize, just forget about that. Nothing I can do about it. The wind is picked up. It's about as breezy as it's been so far that I've experienced today. So all I want to do is get a straight neutral fairway driver that way. This is my first run Centurion. There is a marsh over there, so potentially if you ricochet there, you may have a hard time getting your disc back. I got lucky, but I will take that every day of the week. Okay, I'm 53 feet from the basket, so this is makeable range for me. So I'm going to do a soft bid, but with the headwind, it's like a right to left headwind. I can't expose the flight plate too much or it'll go that way. So I'm going to kind of putt that way and just hopefully stay close given the yips are back on the table, I need to make sure that my putts are close. That's all I want, a tap in. And something I recommend, if it is really windy and you're a little bit uncertain about your play, play passively or conservatively. Don't play assertively or aggressively. Unless you're in the zone, then you can do whatever you want. But in my opinion, play to your strengths at the time that you're there. If you're not feeling very strong, back off a bit. So the wind keeps ramping up. We've got a very long carry that way. Now the wind is coming right to left, so there's a little chance I'm going to throw a disc in the water. Also, I'm going to try to throw something stable. Given the distance of the hole, 366 feet, I'm okay with about 200 feet that way, 166 for an approach, as long as I stay here. I've seen people throw a distance driver into that marsh, never to see that disc again, so I want to avoid that. Throwing my T-bird that way and letting it hyzer. Just a straight up hyzer. And that puts me in a great spot. Okay, 152 feet to the basket from here. So far my plan has worked out. I want to throw this overstable pig that way and let the wind carry it that way. This is not very glidey, so I need to put a little bit of force on it to get it the right line. Oh, I pulled that one hard to the right. Oh my God. Okay, well, I'm certainly human, so I'm just starting to make the mistakes that I make from time to time, so I got to focus up. Again, just forget about it. Try to get 62 feet towards the basket. There we go, pin high. All right, so falling apart on the upshot wasn't part of my plan. Nor was that kind of janky putt. We're gonna have to take a minute to compose ourselves. Okay, we've made it to the next hole, and the distance is about 200 feet to the basket. As such, I'm gonna go standstill with the mid-range just to get something in that area. I'm not trying to go past it. I'm not going for an ace run. I'm playing a tactical shot in a tournament. That's my Mako 3, by the way, and did good. The wind's picking up, I'm sure you can tell. Okay, so the good news is we're playing through some of the wooded part of this course, so the wind will not be as effective this far in. Hi, my putts are just gonna be off today. I just gotta play conservative until I get my groove back. Okay, we've arrived at hole 7, and in my opinion, this is a forehand hole. I don't have one of those options installed in this model, so I'm going to go backhand with a flippy fairway driver. All I want to do is kind of get it low and through that way, and then try to figure something out. I made it through to the other side. I don't know how well you can see it, but my driver is here. I'm going to try, because of the height, I'm going to try to throw my Banshee with my forehand. My max distance with the forehand is about 200 feet, a little bit of wobble. So I'm trying to get the Banshee to counteract that. All I'm doing is throwing that direction. Okay, we are 100 feet away. I'm just going to try to throw this putter close to the basket, nice and smooth. All right, I've got a putt. Okay, I'm about 20 feet from the basket. See if I can get this putt in. Okay, we've made it to hole 8. I don't have enough distance to make it all the way out there, but as long as I get out there in the middle somewhere, i.e. don't hit a tree, get out in the fairway, I think I can do enough shot towards the basket. Basket is literally straight ahead. If you're looking at a sign that's with the red monitor, blue monitor, that's where it's next to. That, my friends, is all I want. Okay, we're 73 feet from the basket. So for me, that's actually a putt, just to try to get it close enough to tap it in. and I think I've accomplished that mission. I finally feel like I've won on a hole. Now, mind you, I've had a birdie or two that I feel like I won on those, but this is a par that feels to me just like a birdie. Okay, we've made it to hole 9. Dealing with a little bit of a headwind, so I don't want to throw it high up in the air. I want to throw it straight and flat. So I got my Valkyrie out to cut through the wind, hopefully. Slight hyzer so it doesn't go into the street. That's about all I can put on it. And it dropped. Oh, wind got it. Okay, the headwind is blowing this way. And 90 feet from the basket, I'm going to take this overstable pig, try to get close. There we go. Okay, that said, I'm in the bullseye, so I'm just going to go ahead and putt before the wind picks up. Let's go. Whew, okay, back 9, bedtime? No, I don't think that's it. Anyways, we've arrived here at hole 10. Basket is way down there. In my opinion, at my level, this is a par 4. So I'm going to try to play it like a par 4. Got a headwind. I'm just going to get an overstable driver, fairway driver, and throw it that way and try to stay in the fairway. Well, for me, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Made it barely halfway, a little more than halfway. It's 206 feet to the basket. I'm going to take a mid-range and do a standstill. This is a chariot. Okay, so the camera died just after I threw this chariot. I think some of that footage may have survived. We'll see. Regardless, if you don't see anything, I'm sorry. That's just where it landed. 51 feet from the basket for a Bushnell. I'm going to try to do a safe bid, but it's still windy, so I can't expose the flight plate to it, or it'll go a long ways. All right, that was a overly cautious bid. Sorry, guys. You know, all things considered, I should be getting a bogey on this hole. Just if you look at the distances and my rec level rating, this is a par 4 for rec level. Anything above 375 feet in length per the PDA is par 4. If you're, you know, like an 800 rated player like myself. Okay, we've made it to hole 11, 293 feet. Looks about right to me. Gonna take my fairway driver, just throw it out there towards the middle. We're now dealing with the tailwind, so there we go. That was a little bit of an anger throw. I will own up to that. Okay, I made it. It looks like I'm pin high, but in reality, I'm probably 260 or less from the tee pad. I'm 63 feet from the basket, so all I want to do is get close so I can have a tap in. There we go. That's what Daddy wanted. So I'm sure a lot of you can tell right now I'm playing passively. That's because I'm kind of recognizing A, the conditions of the course, and B, how I'm playing. So I need to take a conservative approach when I'm playing to minimize mistakes. It does mean that the drives that I throw and some of the throws and putts will not go as far as normal, but it minimizes the chance for things to go awry. Well, it's kind of funny. Someone drove by and honked at me as I was setting up here. So someone recognized me at least. So whoever that was, hey, say hi in the comments. Anyway, it's going to throw my Dynasty into the headwind again. Okay, got a little bit of that. Okay, 64 feet from the basket with my Dynasty. That was pretty good. Not the best throw, but it's the throw that I've got. All right, let's see if I can get close. I really sent that one. Oh, I went past it. Yes, I learned from my mistake on the previous hole. Okay, I'm just outside the bullseye. Really impressed with that putt. So basically, I upgraded from passive to assertive, and that's why the putt looked so good, really. That was not well, it was out of control, but I wouldn't say it's my usual yip. I was aiming for here, not here. Okay, we got another par 4, 517 per the T sign. Probably you did something similar. Just gonna try to get about halfway with my Centurion. Yes, sir, that's all I want. Okay, I just didn't get that far. I'm 293 away from the basket. Just gonna throw my Exodus straight to get some distance. Well, it's not the throw that I wanted, but it's the throw that I've got. Okay, I put my cart over there on the next hole since I was on that side anyway. So I'm gonna take my Rhino, try to hyzer it and get close to the basket. I don't have my stuff with me, so I think it's like about 100 feet. So all I wanna do is kind of get up that way. All right, it's covering me down. Okay, it's behind the basket. This is better than I expected. I thought I put more on it, but I guess maybe I'm just tired and whatever. It's at a good spot. I can't try to micromanage reality. Despite hitting the exact chain I was looking at, that still felt weird. Okay, so the T sign as well as Bushnell agree that basket is 235 feet away from here. I'm throwing into the headwind, so it's not likely that I can go long. I'm going to take my slightly overstable fairway driver, throw it that way, let it fade a bit, and hopefully have a putt. Did not throw that right, but I'm on the dance floor. Oh my God, that's skittled. I don't think you can see that, but it basically bounced and skittled. I'm like 40, 50 out. Can't tell from here. Okay, 44 feet per Bushnell. So I'm gonna do another assertive run and get the right power level for me. That's like 70% power. A little too much flutter. I tried putting, I don't know, not good. Not my best result. I like to have no flutter when I putt. To be clear, I'm not complaining about the result. I'm just complaining that I didn't throw it as smoothly as I would have liked. I'm perfectly fine with missing and taking a par on this. Okay, so this is a very difficult hole. Let me kind of break it down for you. The safe zone is about 120 feet away from the edge of the tee pad to where hopefully you don't go into the creek. To cross over the creek, you're looking about 210 to get to the other side and not have it roll back in. To get past that typically muddy area there, you're gonna have to throw like 240. So I'm gonna show you what both plays look like for the sake of the video. I'm gonna show you the safe layup play, which in my opinion is a standstill, just going over there. That's basically all you want. In fact, that's too stable and it put me in a bad spot, but I might be able to have a good standstill from there. Now let me show you the drive across. Now what I'm going to show you is I've got a mermaid. Given the distance I can throw, there's a very high likelihood that I'm going to put a disc in the water. So I'm going to throw this mermaid so I can get it back. Put way too much hyzer on that, but I can get it back. Okay, so I made a miscalculation on this throw. I threw it with too much hyzer, so instead of ending up a little bit further ahead and on the flat ground, I ended up in a very bad spot. So I'm 260 feet away from the basket. I'm gonna give it all I got to get this Valkyrie over there. This is looking a lot like a bogey. Yeah, especially when I put so much hyzer on it. I think when I get scared of anything on the course, I think I throw with hyzer. Okay, so straight up, this is the worst possible conditions I could try to throw. I think that's like 80 out. I'm just gonna try to get a disc close enough to putt. There we go, I think I can make that. All right, putting for bogey. Let's see what we can do. Oh no. Well folks, you can't win them all and sometimes you lose big. Okay, this is actually pretty crazy. We're dealing with like 25 mile per hour sustained winds right now. The gusts are just non-stop at this point. So I'm going to take an overstable disc. I did get my mermaid back, by the way. It basically spike hyzered it across the way into the mud on the other side. So I'm just going to throw this Dynasty. It's stable, so if I can get it far enough, it should be able to clear. just barely. Okay, I'm 80 feet from the basket. I can only hope I'm in frame. Just gonna try to get it close. I could try to putt, but I think it would put me too short. That's all I want, right behind the basket. Whew. You know, as tough as some of the other courses were, like Texas Army Trail or the main layout at Northside Christian Church, this in its own way is a very tough course. It's got more elevation in a lot of areas, so just something to think about. You know, all things considered, Jones Creek Ranch Park is still a top 10 course in Houston, in and around. We've got over 100 courses in and around Houston, and this is easily top 10. I mean, just look at the tee pads, the surrounding area. Signs are top notch. It's manicured very well. Absolutely fantastic course. I love coming here to play every time. Yes, I'm a little out of breath. That said, I'm gonna yeet this Sphinx as far as I can that way. Par 4, 500 plus feet, blah, blah. A little too low. But beggars can't be choosers. Okay, I've made it about halfway. I've got 237 towards the basket. I don't think I can quite reach it, especially from a standstill, but I'm gonna yeet this as fast as I can that way. I've got a little bit of a tailwind, so it's gonna really limit my distance. Okay, all things considered, 40 feet away from the basket isn't bad, really, for me at my level. You can tell my form is breaking down. I'm just tired. It's all good. I'm having fun, and I get to play fantastic courses as a hobby, so I'm absolutely fine with that. 40 feet to that basket, all I want to do is lay it up and get close to it. If I try a soft bid, I'll easily put way too much on it. Like that. Well, you know, all things considered, this wasn't bad. Just have to focus up a little bit. I know I'm tired, but I'm only like 15, 20 away. Thank goodness. That felt real good. Okay, good game, everyone. Knucks all around. I'm on the last hole. Basket is over there where Old Glory is waving. That's all I want. I am out there. Okay, I've managed to make it to 89 feet away from the base of the basket. My goal is to try to get as close as I can. I've got still a little bit of a ripping left to right tailwind, so I just need to focus up and get this close. All right, just behind the basket. Okay, so something to think about, guys. If you go long of the basket, it's more elevated relative to where you're gonna putt from. If I'd managed to lay up just shy of that, it would be a lot closer to me in terms of the basket. So keep that in mind. You always wanna lay up short of the basket if possible. This is not really the better side to be on. I had a yip, but I managed to get that through. Ooh. Actually, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think this is more like a top 5 course in Houston. It's just in fantastic shape. It's very fun to play. And I think if you can get a lot of people, have a big card, you could probably spend a lot of time out here just having fun, slinging disc. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a different take. I didn't do as well as I would have liked, you know, given the circumstances, but I can't complain. I think this is my first ever solo round here, so this is now my best round, but also my worst round. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, as I have more fun disc golf content on the way. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.